Good morning. Do we still have tickets to give away? We do. Okay. So it is Friday, and we are going to be giving away tickets to the Beavers football game against Southern Utah, which is next Saturday, the 8th. At the end of the show, we'll be taking 2 callers. So stay tuned and listen to that and call in when we give you the cue. We are talking with Vineeta Lower this morning, who is the Republican state representative candidate for, the state rep seat for our district. Good morning.
Good morning.
Did I say that right? You're the candidate for state. Is it 32?
Yes, it's 32.
Yeah, okay.
It's for the seat that Representative Boone is retiring from.
Yes. So good morning. Why don't you give us a little bit of your background? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Thank you. I immigrated from India when I was 5. I was born in Delhi, India, came to Eugene, Oregon, grew up in Olympia, Washington. About 18 months after we came to the States, my mom found herself as a single mom with 2 little kids in a country she didn't know, and she couldn't toss us in the car, and go back to home because it was in India.
Sure.
But she managed to get a job in Olympia, so we grew up in Olympia, Washington, and had my children there, raised my children there as well. I worked at the Washington State Department of Transportation there for the government liaison office, supporting the congressional liaison, state legislative liaison, congressional liaison. And so working with federal appropriations, constituent relations, state legislations, and supporting the Secretary of Transportation's office as well. In 2006, after my youngest son graduated high school, I joined my now husband in Beaverton, Oregon, and pursued my bachelor's in human development from Warner Pacific and my master's of teaching in George Fox. And now I am a public school teacher online, so work for Oregon Virtual Academy as a virtual public school teacher.
Wow. You have kind of a wide range of background. I mean, Department of Transportation and education, coming from another country. Wow.
I do.
Yeah.
And, even in high school, I've been going on these tours and doing all these things. And I'm like, saying it's amazing how the things that I'm learning, I'm getting little pieces of myself. Like I took forestry in high school. And so when I'm going on these forestry tours and talking about these, these industries and stuff and learning more, just connecting to that prior learning that I had has just been fantastic.
Mm-hmm. And why did you choose to run for the state house state house representative? Did I say that right? No.
Mm-hmm. You did.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You're great. Yes, I'm choosing to run for this seat because I just really am passionate. I got a job. I went to India with my mom for the first time in my life since coming in 2013, and when I came back, I applied for a job and got a long-term teaching position at Warrenton, teaching 8th grade language arts. And my husband teaches in Vernonia, and so he was like, "Well, I'd rather go from Seaside to Vernonia
mm-hmm.
and live at the beach." And so we just fell in love with the community and just going up and down the coast, and we're like the destination for the world. And I don't think people realize that. It's just beautiful, and I really want to fight to preserve what we have and improve where we need to improve, not change things for the sake of changing, but to do common sense changes. Our transportation infrastructure is just horrendous. We bring in a ton of revenue for Oregon State. In Washington, when I worked up there, Eastern Washington complained a lot about not getting the fiscal reimbursement or getting the revenue put back into their state, that part of the state, sorry. Here in Oregon on the North Coast, it's totally different because we bring in a ton of revenue. Between fishing industry, we bring in the highest poundage anywhere, I think, on the coast, if not, at least in Oregon, if not on the coast. Mm-hmm. For fishing, the only reason we don't bring in the most money is because, like Newport and whatnot, have crabs, so they weigh more than like our whiting, which doesn't sell us, which doesn't weigh as much, and it doesn't sell for as much. So if it wasn't for that, we would be bringing in more revenue up there at the North Coast. And the timber industry, the timber harvesting, brings in a lot of lumber brings in a lot of jobs. This is the fishing industry. Dairy, as you guys know, in Tillamook is huge. We bring in a ton of revenue here. And aggregate rocks, there's the tourism, hospitality industry. We just bring in a ton of revenue. We're just not getting our fair shake. Highway 6 out of Tillamook into the valley, you go up over that peak, you break down, you have an accident, you can't get help.
Right.
It's impossible to get help until somebody goes down to the other end.
Yep.
That's not okay. That's just not okay. And Highway 26 is just patch filled. Every time we have a storm, it's patches fall down, and we really need a seismically retrofitted infrastructure similar to what they have in Snoqualmie Pass. That's elevated off the ground. And so, as you can tell, I've been going around talking to a lot of people, and I'm feeling very passionate about, our industries, our revenue, of our people, and all of the people that are employed. Highway 26, Highway 30, we've had so many fatalities and accidents. It makes my heart so sad. And we have employees driving back and forth, like on Highway 30 from Astoria to the Wana Mill, going to work. And, safety shouldn't be a concern. They should be able to get to work safely.
Right. So I think it's safe to say that transportation is one of your priorities, right?
Yeah, a little.
Yeah. I'm going to take a quick break, and then I thought we could maybe talk a little bit about housing, just because it's kind of been a topic for the last 2-ish years. Where do you go to find almost anything you need for home improvement? I'll tell you where. Rosenberg's. Rosenberg's has been your local connection for anything you need to build and finish your house to perfection. Carpet, cabinets, paint, electrical, plumbing, nuts and bolts, fencing, windows, doors, and so much more. All those items in one place, but that's only part of the story. What really makes Rosenberg's your stop for home improvement is their people. Their knowledgeable, friendly staff is there to help you through any project. Any question from what paint you should use to how to install a new shower valve, you can get the help you need to do it right the first time. Stop by Rosenberg's today to rediscover what you've known all along. It's better to shop local and work with great people you can see every day. Build it, plumb it, wire it, paint it. Rosenberg Builder Supply, Tillamook. So we're talking with Vineeta Lower this morning, who is a candidate for House District 32 state representative seat. And we were just talking about your kind of your background and transportation focus. Do you have any ideas or, ideas that you're looking at for housing? Because we definitely feel the pinch here.
Absolutely. There is and the other thing I'm passionate about is education and ensuring that our students are staying in school and decreasing the absenteeism. But you're right, housing is huge on the North Coast, and it really is in a lot of places in Oregon. And unfortunately, there isn't a quick fix for that. And I'm going out and talking to people and meeting with people, and I know that there's like Cannon Beach was talking about doing tiny houses, but that just doesn't meet the fire code, which makes sense because there's no alternate exit.
Oh, sure.
And it's not just, I talked about having like micro apartments where, like they have in Seattle, where they have like single units, almost kind of like a dorm, they share kitchens and things, but that doesn't really meet the need of the single-family homes needs, and that's what we need. We need solutions to find out how we can provide homes for these single families. Not single families, but families.
Yes, I know what you meant.
One person or two people, where they can raise their children and feel good about raising their children. And I don't know where that starts. I know there's heavy permitting. There's, that can get kind of expensive and a lot of red tape. And so I think we kind of maybe need to start there and find out, do we need to have these type of permits? Do we need to have, like I was speaking with the Home Builders Association, and they're I lost my track of thought there. But there's the
So you've been out reaching around to other groups trying to find out kind of what their opinions and ideas are?
Absolutely, yeah, because I am a firm believer in that I don't have all the answers.
Sure.
And to get the answers, you really need to talk to the people that are involved.
Mm-hmm.
And it's right there. It's just really important to be able to get the housing that we need. Part of it is, I think, that we don't. It's the land that's available to us to build on. That is an issue, and part of it is, the permitting processes, all of the things that they have to do through the government in order to even get started. I think I talked to some guy that it just cost him, I can't remember it, I mean, thousands of dollars before he even broke ground.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a friend of mine was building her house, and I think all the permitting and system development charges and all that kind of stuff, it cost her, I think, like $20,000 before she even was able to start building a house. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I talked to a guy that's actually he's got a place right next to my office in Seaside, my campaign office, and I bought a lamp from him because he's selling thrift stuff. But he used to be in construction, and I think he was down there in that area, in the Tillamook area, maybe just north of that. And he was building houses, and what had happened is that he had, he made the bid to do this house. Well, something happened, and the price of lumber shot up.
Oh.
And so significantly that he was locked into that bid, right? And so he lost money on that house. But because of that contract, he wanted to honor it, and he built a house at a loss to himself, and it basically put him out of business.
Yeah.
So how can we build houses that way?
Right. Sure. You mentioned obviously education, and you're currently a teacher?
I am.
Oh, wow. So yeah, that's obviously one of your priorities. And how will you champion for that in the legislature?
Well, I think that, as a virtual school teacher, I've really learned how the brick and mortar setting just isn't for everybody. I've come to appreciate that setting being available to our schools as a public school. And because we have students who, have social anxiety, that have been bullied, but we also have students that have that are professional performers, professional athletes. We have students that tend to be constricted by their education in a brick and mortar setting where they can, like, say, they're in 8th grade, but they excel at English. So let's go ahead and put them in freshman English or sophomore English. What makes sense for the student to be successful. And that's one thing. When I was looking at the for lack of a word, report cards for schools for last school year, I noticed that there was a high, not so much in Tillamook, but like in Seaside and Astoria, and some of the bigger schools especially, there was a high absenteeism, especially amongst like juniors and seniors, which correlates with the low graduation rate. Part of that is because some of the families are transient, not in a bad sense. They move around, or they're from, there's some families that are very passionate about family. Their family is like in, for example, maybe down in Mexico, their grandmother's ill. They go down for the month because family is important to them. And so I think we need to find a solution to find ways for them to continue their education while they're gone, so that they're not stifled and they come back and they put up walls because they're totally lost. And then the other thing is, I was talking to the principal at Seaside High School, and he said we really need is a mental a therapist, that a student can go and say, I'm being bullied, and help that student kind of really resolve, figure out how to handle that. And our suicide rates are just skyrocketing. I mean, I just read the other day there was a 9-year-old boy that committed suicide because he was being bullied at school. that's unacceptable.
Right.
That just breaks my heart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
These kids need to be able to go to school and be safe.
Right. Well, and I think it's interesting how prevalent online education is for the K through 12. Well, I don't know about kindergartens, but because I have friends that have, I actually know multiple families here that do homeschooling, and it's all an online education, and obviously the parents help out, but it's just amazing to me, 20 years ago that wasn't available because obviously the internet was not prevalent, but I think that's great that we have those options for families that maybe, like you said, the brick and mortar school isn't the right choice for them or isn't working for them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then the families that do need to go to home or wherever for a length of time, we need to support them instead of saying, okay, well, come back when you're done. We need to encourage them to come back. We need to encourage them to continue their education. And the other thing is, we have a high need in trades workers.
Yes.
And it's a high need. It's a great job, good money. We need to get the kids in that. We need to identify students that is their wheelhouse and help them get into those positions and get I would love to see a like a junior apprenticeship program where they go and follow a tradesperson.
Well, and I think too, I want to say that Tillamook has a shop class, but that kind of class, that hands-on class, when I was in high school, we had shop. They had an auto class where they would work on cars. That's kind of fallen by the wayside. It seems like. Like I said, I'm pretty sure Tillamook has one, but a lot of schools don't. It was a program and a class that they cut in favor of other academic pursuits, I guess.
No, I agree with you. Totally agree with you. I mean, I'm so excited that Tillamook has an FFA program that's strong and passionate. And I met the new teacher of the ag teacher there, and I'm pretty sure
Hayden,
he's the one leading the FFA program too. I was an FFA in high school as well, and I learned that's kind of a way that I kind of overcame some of my shyness of doing the public speaking portion of that.
Right. Because it's not just about agriculture anymore. It's about kind of raising and creating a well-rounded student because they have speech debate and they learn how to judge things. And it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And I graduated high school in 1981, so it's been around for a while.
Well, I graduated after that, but that's okay. I'm going to take another quick break. We're going to talk about the Tillamook Regional Medical Center. Tillamook Regional Medical Center has online health portals providing you secure access to your personal health records and test results anywhere you have internet access. Access health records such as lab and test results, immunizations, medications, and allergies. Receive reminders and discharge instructions. Sound interesting? If you've been a patient at Adventist Medical Center, you could be using My Adventist Health. Just register next time you visit Tillamook Regional Medical Center. They have expert life-changing healthcare focused on you. Adventist Health in Tillamook. So we're talking with Vineeta Lower, who is the Republican candidate for State House Representative Seat 32, which is in our district. It's the north side of Tillamook, right? Because I think Representative Gomberg is the south. Well, it's like central. You guys split central, and then
Yeah. It was. I went to visit. Is it Joe Yank dairy farm? He took me on a tour and taught me so much. Learned so much. What a great guy!
Yeah.
And so much
yes.
that he's doing.
They're actually right down the street from us.
And then he said, "I'm not in your district." I went, "What?"
Oh.
That's across the street. I said, "That's okay. I'm learning. I'm growing, and that's what I want to do."
Yeah, I was going to say. I think 3rd Street is the separation line. Let's talk a little bit about your endorsements, because I think it's really interesting that you've been endorsed by Commissioner Tim Josie. Yes,
and I am eternally grateful. And he endorsed me because we are on the same page. We value our resources, and we value, the timber industry. I mean, the timber industry is huge. By tree harvesting, we're preventing forest fires that are, that if they do catch on fire, it's much more manageable than an unmanaged forest. Not to mention, a full-grown tree has sequestered as much carbon as it's going to, so when it becomes lumber into your home, it's got that sequestered carbon in your wood.
Mm-hmm.
And so putting in those seedlings actually helps filter our carbon out of our air even better than just leaving the full-grown trees there.
Mm-hmm.
And, just so much more, not to mention the jobs, the mills, the drivers, just everything. And it's a valuable resource.
Absolutely.
And, yeah. In our dairy farms and just, they're, I think Joe's doing corn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most of them are doing corn for the winter. We see all the cornfields popping up.
Natural food.
Mm-hmm.
For our dairy animals, and I got to tell you, I follow the Tillamook dairy guy on Facebook.
Oh, Derek Josie.
He always has me crack. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
He just has me rolling all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I am so eternally grateful to Tim Josie for endorsing me. He does recognize my passion for our resources, my passion for our community, my passion for our people, and that's why he endorsed me. And so I couldn't thank him enough. I know that he, took a risk in endorsing me.
Sure, because he's not a Republican. And so,
right.
Yeah, he's quote unquote crossing a party line. But I think that says a lot.
It says a lot because it says we're both about working with people,
mm-hmm.
not about working with parties.
Right.
I'm definitely more, aligned with the Republican Party, but I want to come and sit down with people and say, help me understand. Tell me what your story is. I went to, the Gearhart City Council meeting the other night, and they're like, "Do you want to say anything?" And it's like, "No, I'm here to listen to you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want to hear what your stories are. I want to hear what your struggles are, what you're working on.
Right.
Because that's how I'm going to know how to represent you."
Absolutely. Another interesting endorsement is the Oregon dairy industry. Is that right?
Oh, yes. The Oregon Dairy. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's an Oregon Dairy Association.
And, thank you.
Yes. I know, I'm learning all these too. It's a whole new world, and I'm just excited. I mean, this has been the most fun I've had in a long time just because I'm learning so much
mm-hmm.
and meeting so many wonderful, amazing people. It's just been so wonderful. But yes, the Dairy Association has endorsed me, and I am so excited to have their endorsement. And not just Tillamook Dairy. I mean, they're amazing at what they do and providing everything that they do and all the work that they do and jobs and everything. But cows are great.
They are very sweet.
They are.
Are you having any town halls, or will you be visiting us, or where can people find you online or in person?
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm going to be doing a forum on October 3rd, I believe, in Nehalem. But on October 8th, I believe, it's going to be at the Tillamook Community College.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And, there'll be a forum there. So all of the candidates will be there. So I hope people come out and hear our stories and talk to us some more.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was at the Tillamook County Fair, so I got to meet a lot of people there. I actually met a lot of people from out of state.
Yes. Well, that happens.
How did you end up here?
Yeah, but knowing that is important too.
Exactly. When I worked at Nike one summer, I realized just how much the North Coast really is worldwide
mm-hmm.
tourism, because there were people from all over the world that came there.
Mm-hmm.
But so I did that, and I went to the Bay City Pearl Fest last Saturday. I got to meet some people mm-hmm. there. That was awesome. My website is my name, Vineeta Lower, LOWER.com.
Mm-hmm.
And go ahead and go to my website. There should be some contact information there. And if you want to donate, you can donate $50 a person, $100 per couple, and that is reimbursable by your state income tax.
Right,
so
it's tax deductible.
Consider
mm-hmm.
that, and because that's what it's about, getting the support of the people that I'm representing.
Sure.
It's not about the big industry endorsements. It's not about unions endorsing me. It's about everyday people endorsing me. And the first people I reached out to were my family and friends, and they gave from their heart.
Love it. Hey, thanks for calling in this morning. It was good talking to you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Tuesday, we'll have Bill Bartline here. Don't forget senior meals, 11:30 at St. Mary's by the Sea in Rockaway Beach, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Also noon every weekday at the Kiowanda Community Center in Pacific City, as well as the Tillamook Senior Center at 4th and Stillwell. Costs us $3 for seniors and $6.75 for everyone else. Tomorrow, the Neatarts Fire Hall is having a pancake and burnt sausage breakfast starting at 8 a.m. The Tillamook Senior Center is having a flea market and plant sale Saturday from 9 to 3, and the Rockaway Community Center is having a huge rummage sale also tomorrow from 9 to 5. Tomorrow and Sunday, there is a free model boat show at the Garibaldi Museum from 10 to 4 both days. Model boat builders will be on hand to demonstrate the delicate art of model boat building, including how to make a boat in a bottle. Farmers markets tonight in Manzanita from 5 to 8. Tillamook tomorrow from 9 to 2. Neskowin also tomorrow from 9 to 1. And Pacific City Sunday 10 to 2 at the South County Library. Happy birthday to Amber Porter. And right now I'm giving away tickets to the Beavers football game next Saturday, which is the 8th. We will be taking 2 callers right now. You can select the number of tickets you can use, but you better use them because we don't want a lot of empty seats up there. Call 842-4422, first 2 callers right now. Vineeta, thanks again for calling in this morning.
Thanks for having me.
Yep.
I really appreciate it.
And thank you, Tillamook, for listening.